Our top story, the mother of a former elite gymnast says he was bullied by a coach at Leeds Gymnastics Club. Suzanne says her son was regularly stood against the wall and shouted at by the coach when he was just 8 years old, and it's had a lasting impact on his mental health. It follows Leeds' Olympic medalist Niall Wilson criticising a culture of abuse in British gymnastics. Leeds Gymnastics Club says safeguarding and well-being of all our gymnasts is of paramount importance. And British Gymnastics says any mistreatment of gymnasts is inexcusable. Here's Mark Ansell.
My son was an 8-year-old small petite boy. He was being stood against the wall and shouted at. He was punished for not sweating enough. He was asked to do rope climbs repeatedly, just using his arms. He was shouted at when he couldn't perform skills. He was given a girl's name and he had to earn back his boy's name when he was strong enough.
Suzanne says her son was bullied by a former coach at Leeds Gymnastics Club when he was training with the elite squad 5 times a week and suffered acute anxiety as a result. She complained to the welfare officer at the club. Following an investigation, she says her son was told the only option was for him to drop down to a lower standard group.
They said that there wasn't really a case to answer as such, so there wasn't anywhere else for us to escalate it to, because this is what was normal in gymnastics. His friendship circle was very much his friends at gymnastics. They were his friends, but they weren't allowed to speak to him once he left the group. They were told not to look at him when he was in the gym or not to speak to him, and they were asked not to speak to him outside of the gym. For raising a concern to say the practices that had happened were having an impact on his health because they weren't suitable. He had his dream quashed of being a gymnast and he lost his friendship circle.
I've spoken to another mum who's told me that her daughter was mentally and emotionally abused by a different former coach at Leeds Gymnastics Club, despite her complaining several times to the club. In a statement, Leeds Gymnastics Club said the board is very concerned that former members of the club still feel aggrieved about matters which were dealt with fully and comprehensively at the time. At Leeds Gymnastics Club, we believe that the safeguarding and well-being of all gymnasts is of paramount importance, and we are proud of our outstanding reputation in this area. As a result of the investigation into one of the complaints referred to, Leeds Gymnastics terminated the contract of the coach. In the case of the second complaint, there were lengthy investigations by our safeguarding team. The coach concerned left the club and British Gymnastics supported our robust response. These allegations follow Leeds Olympic medalist Niall Wilson criticising a culture of abuse in British gymnastics.
The gymnasts are still, in my opinion, treated like pieces of meat. There's a massive element of control. We're made to feel fear or scared of speaking out, voicing our concerns, because if I voice my concern, I may affect my selection for the Olympic Games.
In a statement, British Gymnastics said, any mistreatment of gymnasts is inexcusable at any level. It is vital that concerns are made public. To date, we have not had any complaint from Niall in regard to his gymnastics career. It's only because Niall went public that Suzanne's son was happy for his story to be told. He's enjoying gymnastics at another club now, but Suzanne says his experience 6 years ago at Leeds Gymnastics Club has had a long-lasting impact on him.
Quite bad anxiety, panic attacks, very low self-esteem and low self-confidence. One of the frustrations now is for the club, he was just a gymnast that left. For me, it's 6 years on, and for my son in particular, we're still dealing with the aftermath of that and trying to put things back together and forge a new way forwards for him.
That was Mum Suzanne ending that report by Mark Ansell. And if you or someone you know has been affected by the issues raised in that report, the BBC Action Line has details of organisations which offer advice and support. You can access it at bbc.co.uk/action line.